What's going on, guys? So we are back, and we're going to be talking about some Moon Knight. Now, I did not think I was going to be able to get this review up as quickly as I assumed in the very first episode. So I just got done watching it, and I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on this because, again, Moon Knight to me, I don't know a whole lot about, so if you guys can help me out, I'd appreciate it. But I will be getting into spoilers, so if you have not seen the very first episode, I highly recommend you click off the video so that when you go watch it, come back to the video if you like and give me your thoughts on what you thought about the first episode. But the entirety of this very first episode, we got Oscar Isaac, who's playing Steven, and possibly another role by the name of Mark, who I'm assuming he has split personalities, because in the entirety of the first episode we see where his main personality is by the name of Steven, and he, I guess I would assume, has sleep insomnia, or he sleepwalks, and he likes to try to stay awake. He's a museum gift attendant, and he's very shy, very timid, very awkward, but he knows a lot about ancient Egyptian culture. And we also see Ethan Hawke's character, which was really crazy, man. This to open up the show where he drinks like water or something, and then he breaks it and then puts the glass in his shoes, and then he puts the shoes on. That was absolutely intense. I'm sitting here, I'm kind of cringing because I'm going, dude, how the hell did they do this? And Ethan Hawke, I swear to God, man, his character looks like Kevin Bacon. Like, every time I see it, I think of Kevin Bacon. I mean, maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But either way, this show is intense, because in the entirety of the episode, you're trying to figure out what's going on, because we see where Steven keeps waking up in the most awkward places, and he doesn't remember anything, loses track of his days. He even had a date, and he thought it was one day when it was actually this day, and he had a goldfish that had one fin on there, and then he wakes up the next day, or whatever day, and he has now a fish with two fins. So he's losing track of he's literally losing his mind. He does not know where he is. He does not know how he got there, and he's trying to make sense out of it throughout the entirety of the episode. So it's pretty much playing a guessing game of what's really going on. And he keeps hearing voices in his head, and the way they do the voices, I'm guessing of the god that I'm assuming that is in Moon Knight, and also or in Steven, and also Mark, because I'm assuming Mark is the mercenary who is going after Arthur, who's played by Ethan Hawke's character. And we see where Arthur is sort of like he's revealed as like a messiah, I'm guessing, to a lot of people, because he is able to judge them on an ancient Egyptian god, and if they do something, I would assume, that is deemed unworthy, they lose all their time and die, from what I understand. And then we see where Mark actually does something, and it goes back and forth between Steven and Mark, like they're trying to gain control, and they're trying to get away from all these mercenaries that are, I guess, hired by Arthur, to where he's trying to contain whatever scarab that he stole from Arthur, is what I'm assuming. And he even later on finds a phone in his apartment that belongs to his alter ego Mark, and it's someone by the name of Lila that picks up the phone after it rings, and she is asking where Mark is, where you've been, and he's like, you think I'm somebody else. So obviously he does not know that he has an alternate personality. He does at the very end of the episode, after the character that Ethan Hawke plays finds him, after of course he says, oh, I'm so and so from Museum Gifted in London, and he's able to find him very easily. He has a lot of loyalists in the world, I'm assuming, that are very loyal to this man's cause. So unfortunately, Steven's character is very blindsided by who is working with him, and he was like, oh, you're in on this too, you're in on this too. So in the entirety of the episode, you're trying to figure out what's going on, and then finally his alter ego Mark shows up in the mirror and says, look, if you want to live, I can save us, but you gotta let me take control. And as soon as that happens, we see the very first glimpse of Moon Knight at the very end of the episode, and he beats the crap out of this monster, and we don't know exactly what it is. We just know some kind of a monster, and he wins the fight, and then it just goes into credits. So overall, Very intense episode, very dramatic episode. I got to give it to Oscar Isaac for being able to play multiple personalities, and the way that they did the voices in the head really reminded me of Venom, and I like that. I like how they kind of took the Venom approach with the talking inside the head, like, oh, this is this and that is that, because we are trying to figure out as an audience, if you're not familiar with Moon Knight like I am, you're trying to figure out, like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what why is he talking to himself? Okay, obviously he may have split personalities, but why does he have split personalities? So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging in Moon Knight. I have listened to a few origin stories about him, so I'm just gonna have to really dig in and see what kind of approach I guess they take in the show. But it does have me intrigued. Is it like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch this show? No, it's more like, hey, I wouldn't mind watching it when I have some time. I wouldn't mind watching it if it was this or that. I wouldn't mind watching it if for whatever reason. But what were your thoughts on this, guys? I personally like to know down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. Leave a big fat like on the video. Always let me know what your thoughts were about the episode. I'm definitely going to be reviewing Moon Knight each week, so that way I can keep up with it. And that way we can have fun and talk about the show. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.